So what is going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Suicide Squad video. In today's video, we're going to be going through the best items in the game and which ones I recommend you looking out for in order to make your builds as powerful as possible. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join me over on stream as I stream 6 times a week. And otherwise, let's get straight into this video. So there are a number of very powerful items in the game, and a lot of people in my YouTube comments are asking which ones are the ones to look out for and which ones are best. So let's go through the ones that I think stand out. So the first on the list is no surprise, it's the Black Mass Bulletstorm. Now I've chose to show the minigun on screen here because it's incredible ease of use and its fire rate, large magazine size, and it's just very good indeed. Now what makes the Black Mass Bulletstorm so powerful is that each enemy hit with this firearm receives a black mask mark, and applying that mark to 3 different enemies within 6 seconds makes everybody burn. And that burn meta right now is very powerful. When combined with some other really powerful shields like in my build on my channel, you can go invulnerable for a heck ton of time and do just millions and millions of damage. Now to get this weapon, you actually get one in the story very early on, but then if you just grind the mastery levels, you will get additional variants of this, including that it comes in a pistol variant, although I do prefer it in the minigun because of the really high fire rate. On the subject of burn, the next one on our list is the Heatwave's Molten skin. Now this, as we've just touched on, each enemy you burn that isn't already burning makes you invulnerable of damage for 2 seconds and returns 10% of that damage back to the attacker. Each additional enemy burned increases the duration by 2 seconds up to a maximum of 30. So this is very powerful and is what is the meta right now for grinding up the mastery levels. Again, you get this by just grinding out, so make sure the difficulty that you are playing on in Metropolis is high, so you get a chance to drop that while you're grinding Prometheum, and of course then grind your mastery levels and hopefully you should get this one drop. At number 3, we have the legendary ability, the Stacked Deck. Now this is one of the most underrated weapons at the moment, and it is one of the most powerful weapons for both you and your bots to use. If you don't understand how to utilize your bots, there is a video on my channel which shows you how to maximize your damage by setting up the AI bots that you play with correctly. So the stack deck itself, this firearm damage is reduced by 50%, but each successive hit on an enemy with this firearm causes it to take 15% more damage from all sources for up to 10 seconds to a maximum of 750%. So again, I'm showing the minigun variant here on screen because the fire rate means that we will successfully hit this enemy multiple times a second, meaning that we'll get up to 750% really quickly. So it's not suited in particular to a revolver or a actual sniper rifle. You can get it on an assault rifle, works very effectively on Deadshot as well. But this is a very powerful gun. You can just keep it out and use it as a gun, and eventually you will start doing enough damage to kill enemies. But if you use it as a debuff gun and then switch to something really powerful, or if you have a grenade build where you are just plowing the field with the stack deck and then using your grenades, you will do a huge ton of damage. You can get this drop from anywhere in the world, either that being in Metropolis or out in the mastery levels, so good luck hunting this. This is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. At number 4, it's the Black Mask Target Priority. Now on the face of it, it doesn't look like the Black Mask. It could be that useful, especially if you're running a grenade build, but actually, once you start using this, and again, you can put this on your AI bots, you can see how incredibly useful it is. So your grenade does no damage and instead causes enemies to get launched up into slow motion and take 200% more damage for 30 seconds. They become targeted by enemies afflicted with Venom Frenzy within 200 meters from them. So if you're using any of the Bane sets to grind mastery, this will mean that those enemies that you throw up into the air will all be targeted by those enemies. It also means that it is incredibly useful for when you're doing the incursion missions. So if you're doing the particular incubator one, you can throw this on the ground, knock those enemies up into the air, meaning that you can access the crystal without actually killing enemies. It's also incredibly useful when using it on your AI, because your AI will periodically throw these grenades around, meaning that they will completely be debuffing enemies for you. You can even throw weapons with the legendary ability that crit throwing grenade, meaning that they will proc this even further, meaning that you will get even more damage because they will be debuffing enemies more often. This grenade also has a villain synergy, which means the next enemy you craze will do 500% more damage, and while that enemy is up, you will also do 500% damage as well. So it works very, very well with the Bane tier 3, tier 2 and tier 1 sets. Next item on our list is the bullet propelled grenade. Now this legendary ability is super fun, in particular with Harley, but any build that you have that utilizes grenades, or you're using a grenade to do something in particular, this legendary ability is fantastic. So the legendary ability itself is critical hits spawn a live grenade at the enemy hit. This grenade does an additional 100% damage when it explodes, and this can only happen once every 30 seconds. So essentially you're getting a free grenade when you do crit hits, and this is very good on characters like Harley, because Harley buffs grenade damage already. You're already getting 100% damage here, and it is very good for crowd control. It is also actually very good for ranged enemies. If you've got a pesky sniper that's far away, you only have to hit a crit with him once, and he's probably going to die from the grenade explosion. Now to get this weapon, you can get it from anywhere really, as long as you're playing on the higher difficulties and mastery level, and it drops quite often. I actually favor it on the minigun because, again, the more fire rate, the faster you can get those critical hits. But this is the SMG variant that I used actually through the story, and it is very good indeed. Up next, we have the Jinx's Lucky Coin. Now, the Jinx's Lucky Coin obviously is a lucky charm, so make sure that you have finished the story before you can actually do this. You actually can unlock it at level 27, which unlocks the slot for the lucky charm. Now this is another Notorious villain item. No shock here that Notorious, it sits just above the legendaries in terms of power. You gain 750% increased damage to a specific affliction for 20 seconds. This effect rotates through the available afflictions in the following order: Diablo Blaze, Deep Freeze, Live Wire, Bolt and Venom Frenzy. You also gain 250% increased damage to afflicted enemies. So essentially here we get 250% extra damage while enemies are afflicted, and that goes up to 1000% when it's on the affliction that you want. So for example, if you're running the Bane tier 3 set, every time that anyone has Venom Frenzy, you will get 250% extra damage, and then when it's on that rotation, you're getting 1000%. Same with the burn meta builds that you're seeing now. Incredibly powerful lucky charm here, and one that is in all the meta builds as you go up the masteries. Another Notorious item we're going to talk about is the Turtle Still Force Conduit. Now this traversal mod leans into exactly what the guys at Suicide Squad want us to do. They want you to constantly be traversing, constantly be moving, so that you can gain as much damage as possible. So each second you stand still adds a stack of Still Force Conduit, and each second spent moving removes a stack of Still Force Conduit and adds a stack of Speed for Exhaustion. Essentially, while we are moving, we are going to get 50% more damage per stack, and while we are stood still, we're going to get 5% damage reduction per stack. So while we are moving, those stacks go up. While we are still, those stacks go down, but we gain damage reduction as well. This can go up to 10 stacks, so you can get a 500% increase in damage while you are moving. So if you are constantly moving, which the game kind of designs you to be, you will do a heck ton of damage, and it is incredibly powerful. Staying on the subject of traversal mods, the next up is the Touchdown. Now the Touchdown is another traversal mod, but this one gives you another free grenade. As we touched on earlier, the grenades are very powerful in Suicide Squad, so any way that you can get grenades is very good indeed. Skilled landings and ground slides have a 100% chance to drop a live grenade at your feet. This can only occur once every 20 seconds. So by just sliding on the ground as you land, you will get a free grenade. This is incredibly powerful for when you're doing the Daphne missions and when you're doing the incubator missions. You can literally traverse over to a platform, slide on the platform, and if you've got enough grenade damage, you will clear that platform in one shot, kill the crystal, and then move on to the next. It makes grinding the mastery levels very quick, and it's also very good for the beacon signal mission because all those enemies are grouped up, meaning that they will all get hit by this grenade as well. Now, there aren't too many melees that I think deserve to be on our list, but this one is one of them. So this is the Free Flow. Melee hits give you 4 combo, and you can use your Suicide Strike only when you are at 20 combo or above. However, it costs 20 combo to use, and you cannot use your Suicide Strike resource in any other way. So This may seem like a downside if you are running a Suicide Strike build, but if you look at the meta at the top of the mastery board will not use Suicide Strike. You will use this to gain combo. Characters like Boomerang, who can use their melee very, very quickly and from yet range, can gain up to 50 combo or even 70 combo very, very quickly. This means all your skills are activated, all your damage multipliers are activated, and it's a free way because it is only on hit, so you don't have to, kill an enemy. This is very good for trying to get your build started at the start of an incursion where you may have no stacks and your actual sets aren't activated. The final item on the list, of course, is going to be a grenade. This is the Bang. You'll have seen on my YouTube page, I have a whole build built just around this grenade, and I absolutely love it. This grenade limits you to carrying just one grenade at a time, but each grenade has 500% extra damage and has a 100% bigger explosion radius. So it is a match made in heaven for Harley. She has a ton of skills that boost her grenade damage. You can boost that grenade damage even further in your rolls, on your items, on your gear, and then boost up your grenade drop chance so that it doesn't feel like you don't have grenades. You can even combo it with the Two-Face Persuader, which guarantees you a grenade hit, and the Bane Tier 1 set gives you a 50% chance to drop a grenade just by melee hitting an enemy. So you don't really have to worry about grenades dropping, and then you get a ton of grenades as well. Guys, that's it for today's video. If you think you or I have missed any legendary abilities or notorious items, let me know in the comment section below, but these are the ones that stand out for me. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join me over on stream as I stream 6 times a week, and otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip.